February 5, 1985. On a small island in the Atlantic Ocean, far from football's biggest stadiums and brightest lights, a boy named Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born. Nobody could have predicted what would happen next. His father worked as a gardener and part-time football kit man. His mother cleaned houses and cooked to support the family. Money was limited, opportunities were limited, and success seemed very far away. Yet somewhere inside that young boy was a belief that refused to disappear. A belief that he could become the best football player in the world. Over the next 4 decades, that belief would carry him from the streets of Madeira to the biggest clubs on earth. He would become a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, a Champions League legend, Portugal's greatest footballer, one of the most famous athletes in history, and the first football player to surpass $1 billion in career earnings. This is the story of Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo grew up in Funchal, the capital of Madeira. Life wasn't easy. The Aveiro family lived modestly. His father, José Diniz Aveiro, often worked long hours to provide for the family. His mother, Maria Dolores, later admitted there were times when money was extremely tight. There were no signs that this family would produce one of the richest athletes in history. But Ronaldo had something unusual, an obsession. Football consumed his life. Every spare minute was spent with a ball. Teachers complained he cared more about football than school. Friends remembered how seriously he took every match. Even as a child, losing could make him cry. He wasn't playing for fun. He was playing to win. Looking back, those early years revealed something important. Ronaldo wasn't simply talented, he was driven, and that would make all the difference. At 12 years old, Ronaldo faced the first major decision of his life. He earned a place at the Academy of Sporting CP in Lisbon. It was an incredible opportunity. It was also terrifying. Madeira was his home. His family was there. Everything familiar was there. Accepting the offer meant leaving it all behind. Financially, Ronaldo had virtually nothing. No salary, no savings, no sponsorship deals. His family's future still depended on ordinary working-class jobs. But football offered something more valuable than money. A chance. So Ronaldo boarded a plane and left Madeira. The move was harder than anyone imagined. He became homesick. He cried. At times he wanted to quit and go home. Many young players fail at this stage. The talent is there. The sacrifice becomes too much. But Ronaldo refused to give up. Years later, he would describe this moment as one of the most important turning points of his life. Life at Sporting was intense. Football became everything. Training, school, recovery, repeat. Then came frightening news. Doctors discovered a heart condition. For a teenager dreaming of becoming a professional football player, it was devastating. Careers have ended because of similar problems. Fortunately, doctors successfully treated the condition through surgery. Within weeks, Ronaldo was back training. Many people would have seen the diagnosis as a warning. Ronaldo saw it as motivation. He became even more determined. The obstacle had only strengthened his ambition. By 17, Ronaldo's talent had become impossible to ignore. Sporting promoted him to the first team. For the first time in his life, football became a profession. His wages were modest compared to what would come later, but for a teenager from Madeira, it was a huge step. He was finally being paid to play football. The dream was becoming reality. Yet nobody knew that the biggest moment of his young career was only days away. August 2003, Sporting CP versus Manchester United. What was supposed to be an ordinary preseason friendly became one of the most important matches in football history. Ronaldo was electric. He attacked defenders relentlessly. He played without fear. Manchester United players couldn't believe what they were seeing. After the match, several reportedly urged manager Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him immediately. Ferguson agreed. Within days, Manchester United paid approximately £12 million for the 18-year-old. Overnight, Ronaldo's life changed. His annual earnings jumped dramatically. Before his 19th birthday, he had likely earned his first million. But more importantly, he had arrived at one of the biggest clubs in the world. Now came the hard part. Living up to expectations. Manchester wasn't easy. The Premier League was faster and more physical than anything Ronaldo had experienced. Critics called him flashy. Some accused him of caring more about tricks than results. Others doubted he would ever become truly great. Ronaldo listened. Then he went to work. Hours before training. Hours after training. Improving his shooting. Improving his strength. Improving every weakness. His obsession became legendary. Former teammates often described him as the hardest worker at the club. Gradually, the results appeared. Goals increased. Trophies followed. By 2008, Ronaldo had transformed from a promising youngster into the best player in the world. Manchester United won the Champions League. Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or. At just 23 years old, he stood on top of world football. His estimated fortune had already grown into the tens of millions. The boy who once worried about money was now supporting his family and building wealth beyond anything he could have imagined. But an even bigger challenge awaited. In 2009, Real Madrid came calling. The transfer fee was approximately 94 million euros, a world record. The pressure was enormous. Tens of thousands of fans packed the Santiago Bernabeu just to watch his unveiling. Few athletes had ever arrived with expectations so high. For Ronaldo, the answer was simple: score goals. And he did, again and again and again, season after season. 40 goals, 50 goals, 60 goals, then even more. Records fell everywhere he went. Over 9 seasons, Ronaldo scored more than 450 goals for Real Madrid. He became the club's all-time leading scorer, a feat many thought impossible. During Ronaldo's rise, another extraordinary player was dominating Spain, Lionel Messi. For more than a decade, football fans witnessed one of the greatest rivalries in sports history. Every season brought new records, new goals, new debates. Who was better, Messi or Ronaldo? The rivalry elevated both players. Neither allowed the other to relax. Every trophy mattered. Every Ballon d'Or mattered. Every goal mattered. The competition pushed them to levels rarely seen in any sport. Together, they defined an era. As Ronaldo dominated football, something else was happening. He was becoming a brand. Companies recognized his global appeal. Endorsements multiplied. His partnership with Nike became one of the most valuable athlete relationships in sports. The CR7 brand expanded into clothing, underwear, fragrances, hotels, fitness businesses. Unlike many athletes, Ronaldo wasn't thinking only about football. He was building for life after football. By his late 20s, his personal fortune had surpassed $100 million. But the money was never the goal. The goal was always greatness. The money followed. The Champions League became Ronaldo's stage. Year after year, he delivered in the biggest matches. Goals in semifinals, goals in finals, goals when his teams needed them most. Real Madrid won 4 Champions League titles in 5 years. It was one of the most dominant periods any club has ever experienced, and Ronaldo was at the center of it. His reputation grew from superstar to legend. For years, one criticism followed Ronaldo. He had conquered club football, but could he win with Portugal? In 2016, the answer arrived. Portugal reached the European Championship final. Then, disaster struck. Ronaldo suffered an injury and was forced off the pitch. Unable to play, he spent the rest of the match on the sidelines, passionately encouraging his teammates. When Portugal finally won, Ronaldo collapsed in tears. It was more than a trophy. It was validation. After years of pressure and criticism, he had delivered glory to his country. For many fans, it remains the defining moment of his career. In 2018, Ronaldo made another shocking decision. He left Real Madrid for Juventus FC. Many believed his best years were behind him. Ronaldo disagreed. Once again, he adapted. Once again, he scored. Once again, he won trophies. Even in his 30s, he remained one of football's elite players. His ability to reinvent himself became one of his greatest strengths. By 2020, Ronaldo had achieved something unprecedented. He became the first football player reported to surpass $1 billion in career earnings. Not from one contract, not from one sponsorship, but from nearly 20 years at the very top of global sport. Football salaries, bonuses, endorsements, investments, business ventures. Together they created one of the most successful athlete brands in history. Yet even then, Ronaldo wasn't finished. After a return to Manchester United, Ronaldo began another chapter with Al Nassr FC. Many players at this stage simply fade away. Ronaldo continued setting records, continued scoring goals, continued attracting global attention. His move helped transform football's landscape in Saudi Arabia and demonstrated the extraordinary influence he still possessed. Away from football, Ronaldo is a father, businessman, and global celebrity. Yet those closest to him often describe the same traits that existed when he was young. Discipline, competitiveness, relentless ambition. The habits that built his success never disappeared. Even after achieving everything, he continued chasing improvement. That mindset may be his greatest achievement of all. Cristiano Ronaldo's story isn't really about money. It isn't even about football. It's about possibility. A boy from a small island, a family with limited resources, a child who left home at 12 years old with no guarantees, and a dream so big that it sounded impossible. That dream became Premier League titles, Champions League trophies, Ballon d'Or awards, international glory, business success, worldwide fame, and a place among the greatest athletes who have ever lived. Because long before the records, the trophies, the endorsements, and the billion-dollar empire, Cristiano Ronaldo made a decision. He refused to accept limits. And that decision changed everything. Most people remember the goals, the trophies, the celebrations, the records. But greatness begins long before the world is watching. It begins in the quiet moments, the sacrifices nobody sees, the setbacks nobody remembers, the belief that refuses to disappear. From the streets of Madeira to the biggest stages on earth, Cristiano Ronaldo's journey is proof that talent can open a door, but relentless determination can change a life. And sometimes, it can change history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. See you in the next one.